Today is the day I'm working on removing this giant stump from a 3-year green giant that died due to armillaria root rot. And I'm basically going to make a big crater here. I'll go in a circle and remove the dirt and roots at the same time. You can see I've already started putting the roots in my root bucket, and then I'll come back and plant some number of evergreens in this spot. Haven't exactly decided yet. You can see I've already started to put down the rock mulch in the area where I moved that dead emerald green arbor vitae. I actually decided to incorporate some of those tiles into my finished rock mulch plan, but it's different from what I showed you before in the temporary section. This one actually has another large tile underneath it, and under that I have bricks. So it's actually, unlike the others that were just laid on the ground, this one is very stable. And you can even stand on this, so it's super stable. And I think I'll incorporate a little bit of that into my finished rock mulch design here on this back side that doesn't see a lot of traffic, but on the front side facing the yard, I'll probably continue to use that white ledger stone that I showed you earlier. Okay, it's been several hours and I've made some progress on the hole. You can see I've started to excavate on that side, and I went ahead and cut the roots all the way around, which was not easy. So I'm going to keep digging on this, and in the meantime I will cut to some clips that I took yesterday of berries and flowers in the evergreen collection as of the 3rd week of October, just to show you there's still some activity going on out there. And there's no voiceover, it's just images, but a lot of them are hollies you'll probably recognize. Some of them aren't. Here you go. I'll check back in after that and show you what other progress I've made on this hole. Alright, I'm still working on this, and it's taken quite a long time just to dig out the first layer of roots. So I'm going to cut to an unboxing because I received something in the mail today, so let's cut to that, and then I'll come back and give you another update on the big dig here. I just received this delivery from directnativeplants.com. This is the Carolina Laurel, Prunus caroliniana. And you can see how simple yet effective the shipping method is here. We've got the pot, actual plastic pot, wrapped in a bag with twist ties there to keep it closed. And then the box has these little cutouts. There's one there. There's one back there. These just get pushed in on both sides, and that keeps the pot from moving vertically. And then you can see at the top here, there's a nice gap. So they could have accommodated an even taller tree, but in this case it's just empty space, and that's good. That leaves plenty of air in there to act as temperature insulation for the tree. So I would be I prefer it be a little bit wider maybe since the foliage is up close to the side, but since there's a lot of air in there, that is a good thing. That's going to help dissipate any unnecessary heat. So let me get this out and take a close look at it. Okay, here's a look at the tree. Foliage looks pretty good, and the soil was a little loose down here in the bottom, and there was nothing really holding it into the pot, so some of it had come out into the bag, but I dumped that back in and smashed it down. I'll probably put a layer of my local clay soil over the top of this to hold in more moisture and keep it more stable. But overall, I would say that I am satisfied with this Carolina laurel. And this species has a proven track record of growing very well here in the Middle Tennessee area, even though it's not native to here. And it survived some super cold weather without any problems, and it actually grows really fast. So it's one of my favorite broadleaf evergreen trees. While I was excavating this Thuja Green Giant stump, I found this piece of old wood, which is not from the Thuja Green Giant, just below the surface here, maybe 2 or 3 inches below the surface. That means this is an old root or a piece of something that the landscapers left underneath the Thuja Green Giant. They really did the worst job ever of planting the tree, because it doesn't look like they hardly excavated any soil beneath the tree. They just kind of scraped off the top layer, set the tree on top of what was there, and then kind of piled up the dirt around the root ball. So pretty low quality planting, and I have suspicion that not removing this type of material is one of the main causes for why I lost this tree to armillaria root rot. Alright, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm basically out of daylight, so I'm going to have to call it for today. And since it's calling for rain tomorrow, I might not get anything done tomorrow. So for now, this project is frozen. This is the progress I made in one day. And here are all the buckets of dirt that I've accumulated. A few of these were from earlier, but it's a lot of dirt, and there's still so much more to go here. I've got to take out that last section of top layer roots and then dig down another layer to get underneath the stump and chop it out. So a big project. To finish up the video, I'm going to cut over to some clips for update on 2 species of myrtle in the Myrica genus. Here's an interesting update on the Myrica cerifera, southern wax myrtle. At the beginning of the growing season in spring, this tree had brown leaves, and I thought that it was going to be like any other spring where the leaves drop off and new ones sprout, but it never did sprout during the spring. However, later on in the summer, it started growing again from the base, from the ground. So this is all new growth from the ground. And it put up some really tall, lanky, actually they go really tall, like over 6 feet tall, lanky stalks here. And it's in a shaded location, so I think what I'm going to do is dig this out, probably, and move it somewhere where it can get more sun, and use this shady spot for a more shade-loving broadleaf evergreen. So new data point on the southern wax myrtle: if it freezes to the ground, it can re-sprout from the ground. Here's a quick update on my Myrica heterophylla. The alternate Latin name is Morella caroliniensis, but all you really need to know about it is that it is a more cold hardy version of the wax myrtle. So the southern wax myrtle has some major problems with cold hardiness. This one takes a little bit of damage in my experience, but it's a lot more cold hardy. So I like it a lot better. It's definitely harder to obtain. It's pretty rare. The 2 websites that I've seen that have it are woodlanders.net and mailordernatives.com. But this one put on a lot of growth this summer. I guess it must have gone 4 feet vertical. And you can see right now in the 3rd week of October, there's a little bit of bronzing at the tips here. And it's kind of leaning against this fence here, so that may support it somewhat. I haven't been super aggressive in trimming it to be a single leader, but I may do that next summer, now that I know how fast it can grow. It's kind of gone in every direction down here. I think you can see that. But ideally, I'd like it to be a single leader tree. And I'm going to wait and see how it does this winter to understand more about its cold hardiness. But if it is pretty cold hardy, then I'll try to trim it better and maybe stake it up to get it growing in the right direction.